hello, hola, konnichiwa. What do we say the other one? Guten, fuck man, guten tag. Yeah, guten tag. What's up? Shout out to all the listeners, man. We are actually checking out who's been listening to us all over, and those were the languages of the places. So shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in weekly. Thank you guys so much. I was in a bad mood like 30 minutes ago, and then I took a couple of shots, and then I looked at all you beautiful people, well, numbers of you beautiful people. So thank you guys so much for always tuning in, always checking us out. Like I said, I was in a bad mood, man. I was drinking some Cincoro. It was good. I like tequila. The family likes it. But now we're good. Now we're happy. Now we're thriving, and things are looking up. Euphoria was yesterday. I I ain't even gonna say nothing, man. I don't gotta say nothing. If you're watching it, you're watching it. If you're not, I ain't gonna say nothing. Basically, it's great though, man. That play. I can't wait to see what's about to happen. Where is I always see people post pictures of like previews or like shorts. Where are they getting these from? Is this like from Twitter?
So, I mean, the show itself, like they release it. That's what I've seen. Like they literally release previews and pictures and like sneak peeks behind like the makeup and shit like that or stuff like that.
Okay. So that's where. Okay, yeah, because I saw Alexa Demi's butt chasing Cassie's butt.
Yeah, and then the preview of Cassie, I think, and Nate walking down the hall and her wearing Maddie's necklace.
Don't even get me started. Oh my gosh, it's such a good show. But like I said, we're not gonna talk about it because I'm in a good mood, and that show kind of makes me mad sometimes, which is that's how you know that's a good show. But we're gonna cheer it up. And last week, we did a little we did a good boy of the week, right?
Yeah, we did.
So we're doing it again. Let's do a good boy of the week, something to start off, something light, something cheery, and we'll get it popping. Let's see what this is. Oh no. Oh man. I like that, man. I like it's always a good show when there's a dildo in it. That's how you know it's a good show. That's how you know it's a good boy. That's our good boy of the week. Shout out for the good boy of the week. I wish I knew his name. We got to look some more research and get these dogs' names because they deserve their applause. So shout out to DD Dildo Dog. Thank you for bringing us the beautiful smile. And earlier I was talking about being a little mad, and I kind of want to vent a little bit, because I haven't been drunk since episode 1. And earlier we were talking about that too. I hated it. But, first of all, I had school today. But yeah. I forgot. I don't want to talk about being mad. Let me talk about funny stuff. Boom. I just thought about this. I was in school today, right? Econ. I love econ. I love learning. I think, and I'm going to say this right now. I think it's microeconomics. It could be macro. No, it's not macro. We're not learning about macro. It's micro. So I'm in microeconomics right now. So, I'm killing it. And we're sitting there taking notes. And I look over to my right. And my man's, I'm not going to say his name. I was about to say his name. I'm not going to lie. Well, I'm going to call him Thomas for now. So my boy Thomas to the right of me is kind of starting to doze off. And I kind of noticed it like to the corner of my eye. I didn't do the full look. So it was a couple questions in. Because right now what we're doing is we're doing a question part. So she's helping us with stuff because I think it's like a study guide or something. I don't know. I hope she never listens to this and be like, what are you talking about? That's not a study guide. It is a study guide. I'm lying. It is a study guide. Yeah. So anyway, Thomas is starting to fall asleep. He's dozing off. He's dozing off. And this is what I see. I see his head rocking back and forth, just in and out, in and out. And I was just like, oh shit. And I look at the teacher with like I'm staring right at the teacher. And then when the teacher turns around, I look back at Thomas. And then I look back at the teacher when she's looking at me and I'm staring at her. And for some reason, she like doesn't see him. But see, he sits up front with me. Like he sits in like the second row, like a couple of seats away. So I'm like, there's no way that this isn't happening. Like that she does not see this. You know, something is going on. Still, she's not noticing. She's just like noticing kids in the back. Like, I think she was mad at some kids in the back too. Besides the point. This man's is just boom, fully asleep at this point. Like straight up, eyes closed, arms crossed like this, like arms crossed, just like one, boom. And then at one point it was just down. Just he was looking straight down. And I was like, oh shit, Thomas. You're about to get us all in trouble. She's about to yell at the whole class because you're asleep, man. So he's still sleeping, right? And then at one point he wakes up. But lo and behold, that was good. I think I used that correctly. Lo and behold, we'll call her Jessica. We'll call her Jessica. On the other side of Thomas, I guess full on knocks out, and I'm assuming, this is me assuming because all I heard, right? This is all I heard. All I heard was her arm just like hitting the desk, and then her like whole notebook and everything falling on the floor. I'm assuming this girl knocked out and lost balance, bro. I'm assuming it was just like because when I looked over, red. Like embarrassment. Like she just got caught, you know, but I don't think the teacher saw her either. So I think she got her little nap in. And I was kind of blown too, because I kind of wanted a nap. I kind of used a nap too. So my boy Thomas got his nap, you know, steer clear. Jessica was embarrassed, to say the least. So I felt a little bad for her, but hey, what are you gonna do, Jessica? You can't just fall asleep in class. You know what I mean? And it. Wait, no. This is why I can't drink. Because I start losing what I'm saying, and yeah, this is bad. I knew I shouldn't have started this, because 1, I'm in a bad mood. 2, I started drinking. 3, I was gonna say I barely have videos, but I have some good videos actually. I have some pretty good videos. I'm not gonna get to them because I've been noticing, and I'm gonna be honest, that I've been relying too much on the videos. And I don't want to do that. You know, I want to be entertaining. I want to be able to tell my stories, because I love the different stories I encounter, the different things that happen. Speaking of, I do have a story that I'd like to get into before we get to the videos. For those of you that check out the podcast weekly, well, I wouldn't even say weekly. If you checked out last episode, I talked about a professor of mine, and I've been trying to get on his good side for quite some time. And he gave us this paper, and it was a great paper, great assignment. Honestly, if I was a professor, I would have given the same exact paper, and I did really great on the paper. And I said, I'm not going to say what I said, actually. It's crazy. I was about to repeat it right in the beginning, too. I am crazy. If you want to find out what I said, go ahead and watch the episode. I don't even remember the time, to be honest. That's how terrible it was. I try to burn it out of my memory. But we do these episodes on Mondays, and then I have class on Tuesdays, right? So I was excited. I'm like, yeah, man, I finished this paper. I'm doing it. I'm doing what I can do. And First thing the teacher says to me on Tuesday, you guys won't believe it. You will not believe it, man. He says, "Hey, Juan, great paper. I really enjoyed reading it. It was such a good read. Fantastic." That's how it's done. You see that? That's how education is done. Which feels good, considering last time I went to school, I failed every single one of my classes. So it's okay that I can be a little that I'm being a kiss ass right now. I have to make up for last semester, man. Like, I did terrible. I don't know what was going on, man. You know what? That's what I get. I was selling weed, trying to be cool, and I've got a whole I can't talk about that stuff yet though. I think I'm going to have to wait. One, I'm going to look some things up and then see if I can talk about that safely. I don't want to talk about that stuff. But I was doing a lot of not smart things, and eventually it led to me I wouldn't say that's what led to me going to Boston, but eventually I did go to Boston, and the whole time I was doing that stuff was just stupid. I wasn't going to class. I wasn't doing, man, it was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. So now, boom, I'm giving it my all. Like, yo, I sit in the front of class now, y'all. Like, when I was talking about econ and that kid falling asleep, I don't think he's a kid either. He drives a really nice car. Like, it's a really nice car. It's nice. I wanted to tell him one day, but I was shy. I wanted to tell him one day, but he was asleep. He was too tired. I was like, hey, yo, nice car. Yo. Yeah, try to wake him up. Nah, but Jessica on the other side, she had the worst of it. I'm still going to talk about her because all I heard was like a thump and then a notebook flying to the floor. Oh, I felt so bad for her. She was so red. I tried not to stare at her, because one time, and I'm going to go back to the other story too about the professor and my great paper. But I just want to talk about this, I want to talk about this. Oh my gosh, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, my professor tells me that I had a great paper, and I say, look, prof, it's all right. So boom, class is getting started, right? I already know he's fucking with me. That's my boy at this point, that's prof. That's what I call him. I'm like, yo, what's up, prof? I don't say that. That'd be terrible. I'm actually very respectful because I'm a nerd now. Remember, I talked. That's why I tell that story. I didn't know what I was going to say, the other part. But so class is getting started, right? And he's going over, I think, last week's lecture, which is another thing. I work with Pro Tools, and I'm in an intro to Pro Tools class, and I asked, like, there was no way for me to skip it. Like, I don't know. There's nothing I could do, basically. I just had to take it. I even said, like, I'll take the history class, but can I at least skip, like, the intro? Because I already know this stuff, which is, so far, it's true. Like, I kind of know all this stuff, but it's fine because I get to hang out with Prof. That's my boy. So he's asking everyone intro stuff. Like, if you guys know Pro Tools, there's different modes you can be in. So it's a slip mode, oh my God, I'm going to fail the class. I'm certified in this and I don't fucking know. Oh my God. Slip mode, spot mode, grid mode, and relative grid mode. And there's another one too. Did I say spot mode? I don't know. I'm going to fail the class. Fuck. There's 4 modes. No. I can't. Okay. Slip, spot, grid, and there's another one. There's one more. Oh, did I say spot? That was the second one, right? I said spot was the second one. Shuffle. Damn. Take that, prof. Take that. Like that. Basic stuff. The thing is, I only use slip and grid, so I don't use the other two. Oh no. I'm getting there, man. I gotta calm down. So I'm there, you know, taking the beginner basic stuff, and he's asking people around, and you know me, I'm cool. So I got my mask on, you know, hands crossed, and I'm just sitting there listening, you know, because I'm cool like that. I already know this. And, you know, I also don't want to be the guy, slip mode. Yes, the answer is slip mode, grid mode, and spot and shuffle. You know, I'm not going to be that guy in class too. Same with econ, like, because I've taken econ before. I just didn't do the homework, and I didn't show up for the exams, and I didn't do any of that. I didn't do it. I'm so dead ass, dude. I was a loser. I mean it. I was a loser, and I'll say it now because I'm not anymore. You know, that's what I'm saying. So I just sit there and I listen, and I'm just paying attention to class, especially in that class. Like, I really don't want to be that guy. Like, we get it. You run a studio. We get it. You know this. I don't want to be that guy where people is like, this guy's a smart ass. So I'm chilling there, you know, and he's asking people, and he calls on this one kid. Now, this kid, I got to tell a backstory about this guy, okay? Okay? I got to tell a backstory about this kid. So this kid doesn't show up for the first 2 classes, right? Shows up on the 3rd class, and the professor stops him. He's like, hey, you didn't show up for the first 2 classes. You know, do you really want to be in this class? Like, do you seriously want to pass? He's like, there's still a period where you can drop this class and get your money back. You know, not get a failing grade. Now, this sounds kind of harsh, right? This sounds very harsh, the way I'm listening to it. But I kind of like it. You know, something about it's like, okay, this guy's for real. Like, this guy's not here to waste his time, you know? Mind you, I did no research about him. I did no type of, like, and I'll tell you about his backstory, which is actually pretty cool. Like, I think it's actually pretty interesting. He goes and he starts, you know, he tells this kid, you know, this stuff, and the kid's just like, you know, no, I don't have it yet, whatever. He's like, you know, it's just some things to consider. He's like, I'm not trying to bully you, but I'm being honest. You know, he's being honest with him. Boom, couple classes pass, I think 2 or some classes. I don't know. I'm not class watching. You know, I'm not class counting. I'm not, you know, that's not me. I just show up. So a couple class go on, and then we're in that class where he's asking about the different modes, and this kid doesn't know it. You know what I mean? He is like sitting there like with a blank face. And the professor's like, you don't know it? He's like, why don't you know it? Like, I mean, what did we do all last class? Which, I'll be honest, last class, I didn't pay attention because I knew what they were doing, which was grid and spot mode. He literally went through every single mode and did it and showed you what they did, which to me was not fun. But, you know, I bet everyone else was having a great time. It's cute, too. You know, I don't want to be that guy. I really don't want to be that guy. But it's cute, too, because, like, a kid to my right will have Pro Tools open on his computer, and he'll be, like, going through it, too. I'm like, oh, that was me. I mean, like, that's how I was. It's kind of cool. Is that bad saying that is cute?
No.
Okay, good. I feel like a dick now that oh, man, I'm a dick. Fuck. I'm a dick. It's not bad, right? No, because that's where I started too, man. I remember when I didn't know nothing. It just sucks having to go through that again. You know, and I think the professor now understands it, which I'll get to it. I'll get to it in a bit. So this guy doesn't know at all, right? This guy does not know what's going on. And the teacher asks him, he's like, the prof, my bad. Should I say teacher or prof?
Prof.
Okay. The prof asked him, he's like, yo, do you even have Pro Tools? Now, when he said that, you couldn't even you couldn't hear anyone's breathing. Everyone was just like silent. Like nothing was going on at that moment. You know what I mean? Everyone just stopped and was looking at this kid like, oh shit, does he have Pro Tools? No one knew. No one knew. So it's time, and he goes, he whispers it. The only reason I hear it is because he's right next to me, right? He goes, I have a 30-day trial. And that's about how loud he said it, you know? And the teacher goes, huh? And he's like, I got a 30-day trial. He's mumbling, bro. Like, he's not trying to speak up. It's like, this happens a good 3 or 4 times. Huh? Huh? What'd you say? Online. And the teacher the prof goes, no, like seriously, I can't hear you. I'm not even trying to be mean right now. Like, speak up. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. He didn't like, maybe he's coming off a lot meaner the way I'm saying it, you know? And he finally speaks up and he goes, I have a 30-day trial online that I found online. And I think this like flips a switch and the professor goes, what? 30-day trial? That's useless. You can't even save anything on it. And he goes on about how it's like seriously. And I understand because prof sent us an email at least, maybe I'm exaggerating, but it was like a month before. It was between a month and like 2 to 3 weeks. You know, it was in that span of time, a month and 2 to 3 weeks, where he sent us an email saying, you guys need Pro Tools. Here's a link. Here's the student discount. He like sent us everything. And the fact that this dude didn't show up for the 2 classes, this and that. So he goes, oh my gosh. And he's like upset. He's like, seriously, guys, like, and he starts telling the kid again. He's like, listen, you can still drop this class. He doesn't say anything. He's like, you can still drop this class without like losing a letter grade. You know, go ahead. Like, I seriously, like, I'm not even trying to pick on you or anything. And it goes on, you know, whatever. And this like class goes on and he starts asking, someone else answers the question. They answer correctly. And this other kid, I wouldn't say kid. He's like my age. I don't know why I keep saying kid. They're all like my age, I'm pretty sure. You know, like 25 to 22. I don't know. Something like, there's some younger guys though. There's some like some newer, some newbies to the game. It's nice to see the little guys. It's nice. But yeah, he's like sitting there crying in class. Like class goes on and he's like tearing up and like, oh man, I kind of felt bad. But at the same time, like I didn't. You know what I mean? Because it's like, dude, this isn't, like, we're not in high school. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, you're going to cry in class. No one's going to care. Is that mean? Am I being a dick?
I mean, a little bit, but like I sort of, because, you know, the teacher really cares about his class and, you know, what he's teaching. And, you know, when you feel like people aren't taking your class seriously and they're just trying to bullshit it, it's disrespectful.
Yeah, for sure. And then on top of that, he didn't show up to the first 2 classes. The teacher, he should have been had this program. Like, there's a Pro Tools First where it's free, where you can literally have like Pro Tools for free. Like, you don't even have to buy and if anything, the premium one is like what? Like, for a student discount, it's like $50 a year, something like $100 a year. Like, come on, how much are textbooks? Like $300?
Expensive as hell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I guess I didn't feel bad at this point for this kid, but class goes on, right? And this is when I started like really liking the professor. Oh, okay, let me just. I'm not gonna lie. That whole class, like last Tuesday, I loved. Like, I just felt like, oh yeah, this is it. Like, finally, he's starting to fuck with my gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was respecting my gangster. You know, I think real recognize real. Mm. And at first, I'll explain to that in a bit. Okay, so class goes on, you know, and he's talking about the exam. He's like, all right, we got an exam, basic stuff, this, and that. Yeah, it's going to be about this. And I'm not going to lie. There's some stuff on there that he didn't talk about, but then he talked about it then and there. Like he brought it up then and there. There was stuff he didn't, and then he literally covered it real quick. He was like, you remember that? We talked about it. And so it was easy. And then on top of that, he kind of like, it was kind of funny. He stopped class and he was like, so how hard do you guys want this? He's like, how hard do you guys want the exam? He's like, I'm serious. 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 6. Some guy's like, 7 out of 10 straight. Not that hard. He was like, okay. I'll make it multiple choice too. He's like straight up just talking to us, right? I'm sitting there with my arms, because that whole class, my arms are always crossed, because I'm like, I know this shit. I'm kind of full of myself. I'm like, I know this fucking shit. I don't give a fuck. I was like, man, make it open choice. I was like, I'll answer all of them. Sample rate, I know what that is. Stuff like that. Let me stop. No, I'm lying. I'm so lying. I would need notes. I would need notes. But in the middle of that, this kid raises his hand and he's like, can we use our notes during the exam? He's like, what? He's like, when you're in a session and you need to do a mix, are you going to say, hey, hold on, let me consult my notes? And the guy's like, no, I'm not. He's like, come on, man, this is basics. And he's like, he kind of peeks at me for a little bit, right? And he kind of laughs. He's like, and you guys want to be audio engineers. I was like, oh, shit, man. I was like, damn. So he let us take like a 30-minute break after that. And the guy that asked about the notes came up to me. He's like, so he chose violence today, huh? I was like, I was talking to him. I was like, yeah, man, he wilding today, for real, but I kind of like him. I was like, I kind of like the fact that, this is like serious to him. Like, this is for real. And he always says, like, this is a community college. So he's a lot more lenient. So the fact that you're still slacking is like, and I'm not gonna judge anyone too, because I went through that same thing. You never know what people's lives go through. And I fucked up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Someone like, I forgot who I was talking to, and I had brought up this same thing, and I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I was a fucking like loser. And they're like, no, you weren't. This and that. You were just going through stuff. I was like, no, don't give me that excuse. What? I was a fucking loser, bro. Like, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know how serious like life actually is until you get there, Until you pass by it, you're like, oh shit, I should have done that way differently. Which I completely should have. And I'm like, oh, it's just sad. Like, I wish I would have done completely different. But anyway, the next class, because I'm in there from 2 to 9, which for, people are like, oh, like that's just so long. But at the same time, you get an hour break. So that's like less. And then it's music. That's all I fucking do here. So I'm in here for hours regardless. So the next class is coming along, right? And some people, it's just like, they're just like me. They're there from that first class, hour break. Sometimes it's a 30-minute break, depending on how long the lecture is. And then the next class, which is until 9 or like 8:30. 8:30, but sometimes it's 9 because the stories. He has some good stories, so I stay after. I literally don't bring up the time. I'm like, yeah, it's 8:30. Can we leave? I'm like, nah, bro. Tell us about how you worked with Jerry Garcia. I'm like, tell me all his stuff. Like, that's so cool. And it makes you optimistic too, But the next class rolls along and everything, right? And some people are still staying over and everything. And so there's this one guy, and how do I say this in the most politically correct way? given the option, I probably would not have a drink with him. I think that's a nice way of putting it, right? Yeah, that's not too mean. That's like, I don't want to smoke with him. you know, I don't want to smoke with him right now, and maybe that's. Let me not. Okay, I gotta stop. I can't, because I was gonna say, yeah. No, I can't say that. I can't even say that. I'm not fond of this guy. I guess you could say I don't like. I don't like much about him. And I think it's because he's one of those. To me, it looks like he's one of those guys that just like talks. So there was a point in class where he's just like, I want to be an audio engineer personally. So if someone is telling me that if someone is like making shit while I'm there, I'm going to tell them. And when he said that, I was like, dude, you're not going to have a job. I was like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what? And he tells a story about him and his friend that don't talk anymore or whatever. And the teacher kind of like shut him down really quick when he was like, how long were you guys friends? He was like, 5 years. He was like, 5 years? That's nothing. And everyone's like, oh, he's kind of like, no, it's something. Like, he's a lot, man. He's a lot. And he's always, talking some. I think it's always just talk. And I've invited him to the studio before. I've invited actually almost everyone in that class, and they don't show up, which sucks. I want them to check it out. And I think that's like a thing that has gotten me mad about life recently. People always say things. I want to see some doers. Let's do some doers, But he comes in and he's like, oh, yeah, so I know the paper's late, this, and that, something like that. But when you said MLA format, did you mean like you wanted like the whole thing? Like MLA or like, because I actually have some great sources. He said he called this studio named Trilogy. I was like, oh, yeah, I talked to them. I actually took their studio tour a couple months back. They're actually really cool. Spoke with the owner and everything. Oh, man. But it's like, come on, man. Just write the paper. We're in college. Am I the only one that's tripping? Am I tripping? Like, am I stupid? Am I stupid, mate? I get it. It's community college, but I don't know. Let's grow up a little bit here, But the teacher literally goes, MLA format. I want the whole thing in MLA format. You want an example? Go look at Juan's paper. I was just sitting there like this. I was like, hey man, don't look at my paper. Oh, it's funny though, because like now, I don't know what it took. I think it's because me and him, like, I got to talk to him about gear. Like, he actually is the reason why I own this interface and the preamp on why we sound so good now compared about, like, I had to do so much post-processing to sound the way we did last time. Now it's like much fuller. Like, I love the way the show sounds now. I hope you guys notice a difference. I've had this one for the Volt. It's for my audio nerds. I never get to nerd out. So right now I'm using the Volt 476 with 2 preamps on right now. So I got the 2, I believe they're the 2 vintage preamps boosted to this mic and her mic. That's why we sound so beautiful, so rich. And I loved it. I was actually going to buy the, I can't even remember the Apollo. And that thing is like $1,200. I was like, nah, let me wait. Bought the Volt 476. Love it. Best decision I ever made. Using this right here. Phantom Power did make this mic sound like wow, but it picked up a lot of like other stuff. So it's not needed, but it does take it. It does take it if needed, if need be. But I heard with Dynamic, you should like hardly ever send Phantom Power. That's nerdy stuff. That doesn't sound that interesting, does it? Let me backtrack. Oh my gosh, I'm not funny anymore. Yeah, anyway, fuck this guy. Right? That's what I was saying? Yeah. Now the professor respects me because we talked about gear and stuff. So it's pretty cool too, because he'll be like asking everyone, he'll be like, who has experience with mics? And no one will. He'll point it at me. He was like, you look like you've had some experience. Or like he said, I know you've had experience, something like that. So he's recognizing my gangster. And I like that. It's kind of nice. Because at first I was like, man, why the fuck am I here, man? No one respecting my gangster. It's kind of sad. But now I'm good. I'm good now. Wow, this turned into such a happy-go-lucky episode, you know? Good stories again. I love that. I think it was the tequila that I took. Because before, you guys should have seen me. I was moping. I was angry. I was sad. But we're past that. Now, we're going to wrap it up with some videos. Let's get it popping. Let's watch some of these little bangers right here. Let's see what we got.
Tell me what to say about this.
Is you want me too much money for the fence?
To get rid from your own house next year. Are you on a trip? A vacation trip?
But you can do a little scary for yourself too.
If you're going
On the road to the hospital or in your area for a car
and
care.
the thing no longer work for us, and we can get there in place to take the bus.
That was awesome, yo. What? Yo, that was genius. First, I grew up listening to this kind of music. You know what I'm saying? This is like that whole Simple Plan, you know, Green Day, Blink 182. This is the old, like, hell yeah, man. This is a banger. Banger, banger, banger. You can trip to the hospital. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, that's a banger. I like that. Oh, man. Hey, wait. Before we get back to these videos, didn't you say you wanted to do a burping contest?
Damn, I would need some beer for that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Oh, fuck.
I can't. You know why? Because I
Why?
just tasted tequila.
Ew.
Like I
Jeez.
just had like a little. Oh, it actually did kind of. Yeah, that was great though. I love that. I used to listen to that kind of music all the time. I love that stuff, man. That was awesome. That's like nostalgic too. Let's go ahead and get popping to the next one. You were kind of excited about this next one, weren't you?
So I just wanted to explain that I follow this guy and he pretends to be like a Trump supporter and go to rallies. Like these people are still having rallies for Trump.
Okay.
And the people he's talking to are real.
He's got a fan base, yo. Real quick, before we start this, that man's has got like a fan base. You know, like, there's a thing like that a lot of like comedians always say about Trump. Like you can say whatever you want about the guy, but he was probably the most entertaining. Like he gave us the most content. It's sad to say that as a president, like the United States, like that's where we stoop to. But yeah, it sucks. He did I don't know. I feel like it was so weird because like once Biden got elected, like there was kind of like a pause of like everything was like, all right, what's about to happen? You know, you just felt a little weird. And then the amount of stuff that has happened since. Okay, let's move on. Let's watch this video. I hope it's funny because I'm sad now.
We're doing a big whole thing on the socialist agenda. What are some ways we can stop the socialist agenda?
Oh, goodness. You know, we could start with those journals. Can we throw those out?
Journals?
Yes, kids were started to journal about 30 years ago, and this was the government's way to keep an eye on our children is through these journals.
Someone writing in their diary is a way for the government to sort of, keep tabs on you.
Yes, so they would ask questions like, do you have a stepmother or a stepfather, or do you have a microwave, or do you have 2 bedrooms? And so they calculate these findings, and the more that they have that fit into the category, the more government funding that they get.
So stop journaling, stop writing in your diary. What are some things we can get rid of in order to fight the socialist agenda?
Get rid of Amazon.
Get rid of Facebook.
Get rid of Facebook. Let's get rid of Netflix. Let's get rid of Hulu.
Right? She had me until Netflix and Hulu. Everything else, I was like, all right, forget the journals. I was like, I'm on board, lady. Let's see what she, because at one point, let's hear them out. Let's hear what they got to say. So what? Okay, so these assignments that these teachers are handing out are ways that the government is trying to keep track of us.
No, she's literally saying that writing in your journal, she's like going off on random tangents, like writing in your journal is a way for the government to keep tabs on us. Like, she's very paranoid.
Well, if you listen again, she goes like, they ask questions like, do you have a stepmom? Do you have this? Because like, I think those are the assignments. Those are the assignments that the teachers are assigning to the kids. They're saying, do you have a stepmom? Do you have a microwave? This and that. Like, who else would be asking those questions?
I mean, she sounds like a psycho. I think.
But I'm trying to find her reasoning here is what I'm saying. She might sound like a psycho, but she has some reasoning, So I think I was on board until she said Netflix and Hulu, because I'm like, hey, come on, I don't use Facebook that much. No, I kind of use Facebook. Still use Facebook. I love the videos on there. You can find some crazy stuff on Facebook. Facebook lets almost anything go. It's kind of ridiculous. But I love finding stuff on there. I mean, journals. Let me think. Yeah, let's get rid of them. Let's get rid of journals. Let's get rid of let's keep Facebook, Netflix, and Hulu. We'll start with the journals and the diaries. We'll get rid of those first, and then we'll see what happens. I'm all with this lady. Fuck journals. Amen. Let's see what else we got. What's this next one we got right here?
Single fucking traffic stop. Converging on it. This many officers for one fucking person pulled over and people yelling out, "Let that man go home! You guys aren't pulling over any other cars! Let him go home! Let that man go home! Let that man go home! You pulled over no other cars!" I'm going to my other window, yo. Let that man go home. You guys aren't pulling over any other fucking cars. He was driving home. You guys are showing a force for fucking nothing. They are in their domicile. You have no reason to fucking go in there. You go back to your fucking office and quit your job, you fucking elitist piece of shit. You're a fucking person of color. How can you justify this shit? Bum ass bitch. You too, fat boy.
Oh.
Fuck you. Memorize my house. I'll be out of this lease next week. Fuck you. I know you motherfuckers are tracking me anyway. Smirk, bitch. Smirk. Drop that badge and I'll meet you out front for an agreed upon. I'm sick of you fascist pieces of shit. Thank you for not shooting at us immediately tonight. That was a nice gesture. After your fake-ass Academy Award-winning performance with that knee yesterday. You fucking pieces of shit. Fuck you. Fuck every one of you. Find a job with competitive fucking pay and benefits and stop serving that bullshit. You black cops with a smirk on your face are fucking disgusting. Fuck you. Go home. Go get beaten by your fucking husbands and make sure you guys get an extra smacking on your wives and the suicide rate drops, you fucks.
Yo! So I've actually seen this before. I've seen this video before. Man, I love how he calls him a fat boy. That's probably one of my favorite. I love, and being fat. That's why I can say it too. You know, I've been fat my whole life, so I love fat insults. go home, fat boy. He called him fat boy. I feel so, oh man. I mean, why were there so many of them there? There's literally no excuse for them to be fucking 50 deep. Like they're literally just walking in, walking out, and then they leave. And they're like, "Hey, we love you," which I think those one I don't know. I can't take his side either. I can't take his side. I'm not gonna be the one to scream out the window, screaming all this shit. Like I think it takes a level of craziness to do that yourself, you know, to pull out your camera and start screaming. Like he's also in the wrong here. You know, he's Yeah, he's like also in the wrong here. And another thing, I don't know, the cops are also wrong for just the excessive force. Like, they were literally showing force for nothing. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I can't comment on that shit too much. Go ahead, move. Next. All right, so I found this one right here, and this is like, I don't know what's up, man. People like, the craziest thing to me here was what page I found this on. I follow this page called like which compared to the stuff I usually follow, it's like night and day. You know, this stuff is like, cute. This is like cute stuff. I saw this shit. This is not cute at all. These, look at her. Hit play. You know, for those of you that can't see this, there's two wolves at the glass door. There's this woman literally just taking pictures and videos. And I mean, yes, this is great. This is cool. I'm glad she's inside and she's safe. I hope it doesn't get twisted into people's fucking brains that this is cute or awe. Because if that door was open, that wolf is tearing her face apart. These aren't dogs. These aren't pets. These are wolves, bro. Like, these motherfuckers can tear your face off. Respectively. You know? They can literally kill you. And I mean, hey, what are you going to do, you know? There's glass there, so I can't really blame her. It's kind of, you know what? Let me not hate. I do the same. I would do the fucking same. Let me not hate. I just can't with this shit, man. I can't. You know, because there's like other videos of where like people own bears and like tigers and that shit. I'm like, yo, like that thing just choosing not to kill you right now. It's having a good day. Do you think that thing can break through glass? I've always had a fear.
I imagine if they ran at it with like, you know, full force.
That thing's shattering, right?
Yeah.
So whenever I used to smoke with my friends in the backyard, we'd always, you know, pass the blunt and everything. And there's points where you're in a session and it's kind of quiet. So I would always ask this question: what would you do if a bear popped up right now? Like, straight up, what would you do if a bear climbed the fence and tried to kill you and eat you? My thing was, I'm going inside. I don't know. But bears are fast, man. Bears are faster than horses, actually. And bears can actually climb faster than they run, which makes no fucking sense to me. What kind of sense does that make? What do you mean a bear can climb faster than it runs? That makes no fucking sense at all. But bears are probably one of the most dangerous animals out there. Like, if you encounter a bear, yeah, you can't run because it will outrun you. You can't climb a tree because it climbs. You can basically not get away at all. Bears are scary. Fuck. Okay. Fuck wild animals. So let's go to this. Let's go to this next one over here. This one. I'm not gonna lie. It's my favorite. I think a little context here. This girl right here is a Twitch streamer or some kind of streamer. For those of you that don't know, there's a lot of streamers. I'll say a lot. There's a good amount of streamers that literally just stream themselves walking, like going anywhere. So I think I saw one too where there was this girl like, I'm tripping. No, I did not see one. I saw one in person. There's this girl at the Cheesecake Factory and she was streaming like her meal. And she was like talking to people and, you know, she said thank you to me. She didn't really say thank you. She just kind of bowed her head. She was nice. I think she was foreign. In Boston, you got a lot of foreigners. So I think that's what it was. But go ahead, hit play. This right here is hilarious.
Aaron is like, what? Can you just stop asking? Like, you guys keep asking me why the fuck I don't reply the chat, but every time I reply the chat, it's like all kind of weird ass questions like, do you shave your pussy? Do you like this? Do you that? Shut the fuck up, okay? Shut the fuck up with your horny ass fuck questions. Nobody give a fuck about answering all these questions, yo. I'm not your personal porn star.
I love her. She know. Yeah, that's amen, girl. Tell him. Which is true, man. I bet like when you're a girl streamer, when you're actually a girl anything, you get all this kind of shit. You get all these types of, especially if you're like someone popular. I can't imagine the amount of creepos that are out there. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking disgusting too. Plus, what? They're like fucking jerking their meat. It's like, do you shave your pussy? Does that really turn you on? You know, does typing, do you shave your pussy? And then she answers, yes. Like, oh, fuck. Like, that's really what's going to get you going? You know what I mean? I don't know. And then you also see on Twitter. Like, Twitter has some of the worst stuff too. Because there'll be girls that are literally there's this girl that posted on Twitter, and she was like, it's crazy because I'll post like a picture of my cleavage and it'll get reported, but guys will add me to their private chats of them jerking off, and that's completely okay. It's like, what the fuck? Like, there's guys that do that. It's like fucking insane to me. Like, at what point do you think that's like relatively okay? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But shout out to this girl. I don't know her name. I don't know anything. I just know she doesn't want to tell us if she shaves her pussy or not. And I thought that was a good question to ask her. I mean, next time I'll ask her a different question, but for now, still waiting to get a reply on that one. Let's go on to the last video. This is actually my favorite video. This has been one of my favorites for a while. And I've been wanting to show this one, but I never knew when. So let's watch this. So for those of you that can't see, there's a woman driving on the highway at top speeds, and she is jerking the bean like I have never seen. Like, she is hitting it and not quitting it, man. She's going at it. She is going to town. She's going to pound town on the bean, man. She's really giving it her all. Crazy shit. Not only that, high speeds, bro. It's fast. There's like a good 10 seconds where she's not holding onto the wheel and she's just going fucking at it, bro. She's going at it. She's rubbing her titty too. How are you this horny? How are you this horny? She's on her way somewhere. She could wait and pull over. She could pull over on the side of the road. We learned from Mickey Diaz that a lot of men do that. Pull over on the side of the road and stroke their meat. She could do the same thing. I don't know, man. She could do something. Shit, dude. That's a good video. You know what? I was having doubts about this episode. I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm feeling a lot better. We got to see a woman stroking her bean. We got to see, honestly, that's it. I think that's going to be because we were talking about earlier, you know, apparently my titles aren't that good. So I think a good title would be Woman Strokes Her Bean, episode 18. Yeah, woman strokes her bean on episode 18. There we go. Something like that. I don't know. But we got to keep it spicy apparently. Thank you guys again for joining us weekly. I hope you're loving the videos. I hope you're loving the chats. I really want to get some guests in here, guys. I really do. But people don't show up. You know, I've been trying not to say it the whole fucking episode, but it's true. I've had about 3 to 4 different guests scheduled, and it doesn't work out. So we have to scramble this stuff together. We have to make it happen, even if it doesn't happen, you know, because one thing I don't want to I want to keep doing is keep bringing these to you weekly. You know, if you guys follow us on Instagram, you've noticed that I haven't really been posting much stuff. I hate to say it, I really just don't have time. I wish I did. I wish I'm able to do these things for you guys more, you know, but I've got school, I've got work, I've got, you know, I got to edit these. Like, I'm doing everything for these. But I'm going to keep it pushing, guys. I want to keep bringing stuff out. And these videos, I love these videos. What we did this past weekend, we went through these videos and we started watching a lot of them. We got rid of some. What I want to do is get a whole bunch of our favorites and eventually, you know, put them up. And if you guys have also any videos that you guys want to send us, please, by all means, go ahead. Send me a DM, send me a message, send me a video link, send me anything. I'd love checking stuff out. If you've watched our episodes, you already know what kind of stuff we like to watch. And if you haven't, give it a try. Who knows? Maybe we'll like it. We've watched some different variety of stuff. So thank you guys so much. If you guys are listening to us, thank you. Bless you. If you are watching us and you want to take us on the road with you, you know, you don't want to be on YouTube, go ahead. Find us on Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. We are ready. Buzzsprout too. Shout out Germany, man. I gotta say it one more time. We got listeners in Germany. We got people all over, and I love seeing that too, because it gives me some motivation. And who knows, maybe eventually I'll be speaking Germany, or that's not even Germany isn't speaking German. I'll be speaking German in a couple episodes. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, if you guys are listening to us and you like what you hear, you want to see the videos, I got a lot of videos. If you guys, the amount of stuff I've watched, I can't even, honestly, someone asked me, it's like, I was talking to someone the other day and they're like, what kind of videos do you watch? And I was like, you know what, man, just like different stuff, you know, like a woman took a shit in a phone booth. We got a woman taking a piss on someone's face. We got girls falling off of cliffs. We got a bunch of cool stuff, you know, and oh man, we got a bunch of cool stuff, honestly. Bunch of cool stuff, and I bring it for you guys all the time, so find us on YouTube. That's what I meant to say with all this. If you're listening to us, find us on YouTube. Check us out, guys. Thank you guys for joining us weekly. I hope you guys check us out next week. We're going to have even cooler stuff. Let me not lie. We're going to have the same stuff we've been having. Thank you guys, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. See you guys next week.